Coming into your YouTube airwaves, it's Vaughn, the Stat Man, and welcome to the Stat Room. Alright guys, so welcome back guys. I know this is my first time doing a video where you could actually see me in some time, and I want to say thank you guys for riding with me all these years. And I want to send a quick shout out to Norman Fame. He's a friend of mine who actually taught me how to edit the video a little bit better. So guys, I'm going to work on getting quality content with it being visual as well. All right guys, so the first quarterback that I'm going to talk about is going to be Sam Darnold. And I know you guys like, come on, Vaughn. Sam Darnold, really? I mean, he's terrible. You know, he got replaced by Joe Flacco. But let me just say this, guys. Last year, he was with the Jets. He had Adam Gase as quarterback, as his coach. Go back and look at the quarterbacks that Adam Gase had. Look at their careers before they was with him, during him, and after they left. Just go look at the Titans quarterback. What is he doing now? He is absolutely balling. He had Gase in Miami. He goes to Tennessee, and now look at him. But let's just look at Donald's numbers. Okay, 2018 he had 2,865 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Not too shabby. 2019, 3,000 passing yards, 19 touchdowns, 13 interceptions. Start to ascend. See the pattern here? Then in 2020, he caught mono, fell off the cliff, 9 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Ultimately replaced by Joe Flacco. But now, he goes to Carolina, and guess who he plays week 1? You guessed it, the New York Jets. Guess who his supporting cast is? He has Christian McCaffrey. Who wouldn't want to have Christian McCaffrey? I guarantee you that he's going to throw 8 to 9 touchdown passes to McCaffrey. McCaffrey's going to have 2,000 combined yards if he stays healthy. He has Robbie Anderson, former player that played with him in New York. So you can imagine him and Robbie Anderson already got a connection. I say 8 to 10 touchdowns, easy for Robbie Anderson. Then you got Moore. I say another 6 to 8 touchdowns. I wouldn't be shocked, guys, if Donald throws for 25 to 30 touchdowns. In week 1, don't be shocked if he throw 3 and run 1 in. Because when you play fantasy, guys, you're trying to get an edge. It's a gamble. It's a calculated risk. Because everybody's going to go to Matt Ryan, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. Everybody's going to play those guys. Josh Allen. But you got to go contrary, because if he gets you 20 fantasy points, now you can stack up at other positions. All right, so that's the first one, guys. So now, let me give you the second player on my list. All right, so next up, guys, we have Jameis Winston. All right, guys, so now Jameis Winston is a quarterback that I absolutely love, guys. And I believe he's going to be the starting quarterback for the New Orleans Saints. And I know people are like, but Statman, in 2019, he had 30 interceptions. Yes, but he also threw for 5,109 yards. Not too many quarterbacks in NFL history has thrown for that many amount of yards and 33 touchdowns. He's not a stupid quarterback, guys. He is a great quarterback. He was in a system that he had a lot of 50-50 balls. When you're in a system where you're throwing the ball 15 times down the field, over 30 yards down the field, that means that the receiver's going to come up with some. That's why they call them 50-50 balls. And in his case, he threw 33 times. His receivers came up with it 30 times. The defensive guys came up with it. That's the NFL. Tom Brady struggled last year in Bruce Arians' offense. Am I not lying with that one? Am I not telling the truth? First 6 games, he was throwing interceptions till he went in and told Bruce Arians, we got to manage the game more. Let me throw some more checkdowns and those types of things. But look at who Jameis Winston has. Guys, he got Michael Thomas. I expect him to throw 1,400 yards and 11 touchdowns to Michael Thomas. He's going back to the Pro Bowl. Then he has Traquan Smith. Now, Traquan Smith is going to win people fantasy this year, because the thing that I've learned is number 2 receivers, they get the majority of the targets because they're going to double team Smith. Traquan is going to come into his own. I expect him to have 1,000 yards as well, and I expect him to have 9 touchdowns. He's not going to match Michael Thomas with total yards, but I think he's going to get a lot of targets because they're going to be doubling him. Then, guess who his running back is? You guessed it, Alvin Kamara. How many touchdown passes you think he's going to throw to Alvin Kamara? So, guys, I'm going to end with saying this. My predictions for Jameis Winston, I believe he throws for 4,800 100 yards because it's a 17-game season. I think he throws for 30 touchdowns, and I would say 14 interceptions. Now, let's go to my third quarterback. All right, guys, so the next two quarterbacks, I'm not going to go into big detail, but guys, I'm going to give you two quarterbacks that I like, guys. And this hat, this is Nipsey Hussle's All Money In hat. Anybody that follow Nipsey Hussle, you know who Nipsey Hussle is. But this is a sports video, so let's get right into it. Guys, I like Carson Wentz. I know he fell off the cliff last year with Philadelphia, and he got replaced. But now he's in Indianapolis. The head coach for the Colts was the guy in Philly that he had the most success with. They have now partnered back up. So expect Carson Wentz to have a bounce back campaign this year. I think he's going to be top 4 in MVP voting this year. And I think he's going to be a top 3, you heard it, top 3 fantasy quarterback this year. He got Marlon Mack and Taylor at running back. They will put up the same numbers as Chubb and Hunt in Cleveland. You heard it here first. And you can laugh all you want, but when the season gets close to the end, you're like, wow, that man was on something. I watch film, guys. I don't listen to the talking heads on ESPN. I'm not a part of the Go Along, Get Along gang. I watch film. And the film shows me that these two running backs are phenomenal. He's still got T.Y. Higgins. He's still got T.Y. Hilton. And remember, his rookie wide receiver from last year, who was balling, is now in his second year. I believe he's going to be the number 1. T.Y. is going to be the number 2. So Wentz is someone you would want to consider. Next, Jalen Hurts. He will have a season similar to Kyler Murray last year. He will have 10 or more rushing touchdowns. He will throw for over 3,000 yards, and he will rush for about 700 to 800 yards. I love him, guys. He got Sanders, one of the best running backs in the league. Can pick up the blitz, can run the ball. And that wheel route, he runs that phenomenally. Then he got Devontae Smith, one of the best route running receivers in the whole draft. He got him, a wide receiver. Then he got Rieger, who's coming into his own, guys. He's second year running wide receivers typically take a big jump. And he still got Dallas Goedert at tight end, guys. Philadelphia, that defense is an opportunistic defense. They take the ball away. Philly is going to make noise. Everybody talking about Dallas and the Redskins. Philly is my dark horse to win the division. Because now with Hurts having an off season, they're going to tailor the offense to him. And he's a pretty good thrower of the ball, guys. Don't let it fool you. Don't listen to them talking heads. He's going to ball out. So now, let's talk about who I believe will lead the NFL in fantasy football yards this year. DFS points, the number 1 player on my list is Lamar Jackson. Now, the knock on Lamar Jackson from the people who don't really watch game film, who just want to just give their opinions but don't actually watch the film, they say Lamar Jackson has accuracy issues. Go back and look at his completion percentage and take into account this. The only guy on his team that beats single coverage on a regular is Andrews, his tight end. Hollywood Brown doesn't beat one-on-one. That's why I think Hollywood Brown is a number 2 receiver. But guess who he has? They picked up Sammy Watkins. When he's healthy, he's a burner. He runs great routes. He did phenomenal in KC. Buffalo, he did good in Buffalo. And they drafted, to me, the steal of the century, Rashad Bateman. I'm going to give you a little quote. Marlon Humphrey's one of the top NFL quarterbacks. He said to the GM, we got a good one. I watched the game film in practice. Marlon Humphreys don't get beat the way that Rashad Bateman is just as good as Stephon Diggs. And remember, Josh Allen, before he had Diggs, he was a 57% completion percentage quarterback. He wasn't that good. And it does matter if you have receivers that can beat one-on-one coverage. I don't care what nobody say. They always want to throw the blame on the quarterback. I'm like, no. I don't want to watch any analyst that's not showing tape. If you're going to give a negative perception of a player, show the film. I watched a lot of Ravens tape, and these guys wasn't open. If it wasn't for Lamar Jackson's legs, the Ravens, if you had Joe Flacco in there quarterback, the Ravens would have went 6-10 every year. So Lamar Jackson is actually better. He's actually worth $40 million. Because to get that team to the playoffs with guys that couldn't get open, now he got 2 guys that can get open. Now Hollywood Brown will be one-on-one. Man, Lamar Jackson, my predictions for Lamar Jackson this year is I predict that he is going to throw for 4,000 yards over 30 touchdowns. He's going to run for another 7, and he's going to be an MVP candidate this year. The other person who I like for MVP, of course, I like Carson Wentz. I think he's going to have a bounce back year, and I think Matthew Stafford's going to be up there as well. And that's who I like, guys, for my top 5 sleepers. I hope this video helps someone to take down $1 million. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in. All right, thanks for watching the video, ladies and gentlemen. And if you want to be a stat, remember, hit that subscribe button and also share this video. Thank you, and welcome to the Stat Room.